Studiometry makes it easy to bill for your uninvoiced work that you've already entered into the program. You can do this in several ways in Studiometry, but in this video we're going to go over two specific ways. One is the Items Awaiting Invoices section, and two is Studiometry's Automated Invoicing. We can get to both of these via the Invoices group in Studiometry's main window. If this group doesn't appear here, just go down to the gear icon on the bottom left and click it and go to View Settings. And then from here, make sure that Invoices is checked in this Show Group section. So when we select the Invoices group from the first pane, it'll bring up subsets of different things we can look at in the second pane. The top four, all invoices, outstanding invoices, overdue invoices, and paid invoices, are all just subsets of your list of all of your invoices in Studiometry. The next three are the special sections that we're going to look at in this video. So first, let's go to the Items Awaiting Invoice section. If we click here, it will show us the list of all of the projects that currently have uninvoiced billable items associated with them. So what this means is that if we've entered work into a project on Studiometry, but we haven't created an invoice that includes that work, that project will appear here. Now each of these rows is a different project. So for each project you can see how many items there are that haven't been invoiced, the total hours that have not been invoiced, and the total amount for all of those items that haven't been invoiced. And then creating an invoice from here is very easy. You can either double click on a row or you can select a row and click Create Invoice. And then Studiometry will open up a new invoice window where it will automatically select the uninvoiced items, and then if you just hit OK, it'll create that invoice. And then we can see that project no longer appears in the Items Awaiting Invoices section. So that's great if we want to come to this section of Studiometry and periodically check to see which projects have uninvoiced items. But we can actually have Studiometry check that for us at set schedules. And to do that, we would use Automated Invoicing. So if I go to the Automated Invoicing section, here we can set up a list of automated invoicing schedules. Currently there's nothing in this list, so to create a new schedule, I'll click on the plus button on the bottom to bring up the window. Here we can enter a name for the schedule. We can set the period for the schedule, which means how often it will check the projects for uninvoiced items. And then we can select which projects will actually be checked when this schedule runs. And that's done via this pop-up menu here. We can select all projects, so all projects would be checked. We can select a status, where any project that has that status would be checked. A category, where any project of a specific category will be checked. Or we can select a custom group of projects. So for this example, we'll just create a schedule that will check by status, and we'll select the status ready for invoice. So what this means is that every month, starting on May 9th for this example, Studiometry will check all projects that have the status of ready for invoice to see if they have uninvoiced items. And if they do have an uninvoiced item, Studiometry will automatically create an invoice and then alert you that it's created a new invoice. So you won't have to go in and check the Items Awaiting Invoice section or go to the project itself to see if there's any uninvoiced items. Studiometry will just do that for you using this schedule. So when I hit OK in this window, it will create that schedule, which will appear here. We can enable or disable specific schedules just by checking on the active checkbox next to them. So since this is currently inactive because I unchecked it here, this schedule won't be run and these invoices won't automatically be created. So I'll just reactivate it. And now we can see there's an option at the bottom to check schedules now. Now you can force Studiometry to check schedules, but it will do it. It'll check for the schedules, every 10 to 15 minutes or so while Studiometry is open. So you don't actually have to do that. Studiometry will periodically check the schedules automatically. But I'm just going to force a check now to see what happens. And when I do, we'll receive a notification telling us that the automated invoice has been created. If I click on that, we can see the invoice that was created and the project that it's associated with, and that it was created today and the due date was automatically filled in. And this was all done by Studiometry. The other thing that we can look at is right here, the next check date for this schedule is now 1 month from today. So since it checks every month, it checked today, it won't check for new invoices until 1 month from today. So that's Studiometry's Items Awaiting Invoices section and Automating Invoices. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at support.oranged.net.